2 chips, although I asked for an apple, but that's okay. My life is literally changing, and it's gonna change even more. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. There's a lot of slander. There is a lot of defamation. Her mental health has gone down so much. YouTube is ruining my life. What's happening is not okay. You guys don't know the full story at all.
I feel like a lot of people have their own interests, their own, fantasies, their own bedroom activities. And me talking about that, I am probably the last person on the entirety of planet Earth that is allowed to talk about that and then judge someone for it. So, you know what? I'm going to put my hands up and say, whatever you're into, as long as it's legal, that is totally fine. Just do it in private. Now, the reason I'm talking about that today is because there's a relationship with a very famous TikToker right now and YouTuber who has got into a relationship where her life is basically at risk because of what her partner was into. And that's always been a cause for concern about me. Like if you keep something to like a fantasy or something, and it doesn't impact real life, but then obviously if it does start to impact real life in a incredibly negative way, that is when there's a problem. Now, I would like to introduce the protagonist for today's story, and that is Amberlynn Reed. Now, she's a content creator on TikTok and also on YouTube, and she basically does like a bunch of vlogs and posts, kind of doing a day in the life type video. Now, if you go on a YouTube channel and sort by most popular, you can see that her most popular content is, kind of just what I eat in a day, doing kind of mukbang type stuff. What I ate today, unhealthy. In the thumbnail, it's just her with a chocolate bar. Now, I can just immediately already tell that half the comment section is gonna be like, wow, of course you're talking about someone like that, Pyrocynical. But this video isn't to attack her. 2016 Pyro probably would have been like, she's so fat. She's a fat pig, mate. That is literally the worst thing I've seen in my life, mate. Which would have basically just been like stage 5 projection. But I'm making this video as awareness because she is right now in an incredibly dangerous situation. And I wish I could just sit here and say, she's quite bigger. She might have some health problems, but it is a lot worse than that. Now, there have been various stories documenting Amberlynn because even though she's a YouTuber, she slips over onto TikTok a lot. She doesn't have an account on TikTok, I've checked, but she has loads of people talking about her. Like, for example, one video where she did like a story time where she basically nearly choked on a potato.
So Amberlynn almost died from choking on a potato. Amber just uploaded this video where she talks about how around a month ago she was eating a seafood boil. If you guys didn't know, most seafood boils have pretty large chunks of potatoes that are like this big in them. Amber admits herself that she eats really fast and doesn't chew her food enough, partially because her teeth are really sensitive and she just eats fast. What she describes next is pretty graphic. So basically she was eating the seafood boil, and in the middle of it she literally said that all the oxygen pretty much just like left her body as the potato became lodged in her throat.
Now, before I get a little bit more into this, she's also had meme potential as well, because you probably have no idea who Amberlynn Reed is from the name alone, but you've probably seen this meme going around all over the internet.
Give me 2 chips, although I asked for an apple, but that's okay. This is not a veggie sandwich. Wow. Turkey with bacon and cheese. I'm really, really upset right now. I'll try it. Here we go. It's pretty tasty. Bacon. Honey, that's not what I asked for.
Usually what happens if you reach the stage of Amberlynn and you're not famous, you're not really an e-celeb, you're kind of like a micro e-celebrity, and also people just kind of like watching you day to day, similar to, other people I've talked about, like World of T-shirts. Even though Amberlynn is nowhere near as bad as World of T-shirts, I don't want to make that comparison. I'm just saying when you reach that similar size in audience, you tend to get a huge following on Reddit, on people that basically look at you day to day, give updates, and kind of almost look into your personal life a bit more than they probably ever want to look into their own. Now, I do want to give a shout out to the subreddit, the Amberverse, because even though it is obviously from the cover photo alone mocking her, they've actually helped document a lot of what's been happening with Amber over the past couple of years. Now, it seems recently Amber has got herself involved romantically with a partner who would, want her to kick the bucket, so to speak, to game end her. What I'm about to explain and go over is very, very bizarre. So Amberlynn recently shown off her new girlfriend, Tommy Slummy. That is not her real name, by the way. So just for the sake of like brevity, Tommy and Emily are the same person. So I might kind of use these interchangeably. So about 3 weeks ago, Amberlynn posted a bunch of vlogs and videos and updates, basically alluding to meeting up with a long distance girlfriend that she's had, who she names as Tommy, not to be confused with Tommy from The Last of Us. Now, Tommy is apparently a really common alias you give to partners because, you know, she wasn't really comfortable with saying her actual name at the time. So there was a vlog that went up 9 days ago at the time of recording that showcased Amberlynn with her long distance girlfriend. And it shows multiple clips from their day and just how, you know, she talked about herself at the beginning of the video. She seems relatively happy with how this relationship is working so far. And then not long after that vlog went up, there was a TikTok that was posted which officially shown the, long mystery girlfriend. Now, the original TikTok has been removed, but there's obviously been like re-uploads posted everywhere. Like, for example, this Instagram account that seems to keep an eye on Amberlynn and basically meme on her, they posted the stories that she posted before she took them down. Now, Tommy finally has a face. And as a reminder, 9 days ago, she posted a vlog about their meetup. And in less than a week, so much stuff has happened and so much stuff has came out because, like I said, Amberlynn, she has this following of people that just look into every little facet, every little aspect of her life. And then they obviously started to look into her partner as well and see what her background was. So Tommy is obviously Emily Cole, and the Reddit detectives, they did a deep dive trying to find anything they could on her. And what did the Reddit armchair detectives find? Whew. There was a lot of skeletons. And believe me, when they were done finding every skeleton, pushed it out that closet, they probably sat back in their rocking chair, hit that vape, did little smoke rings with it, stroked their neck beard and said, today was a good day. So apparently Emily had like a past partner or a wife who passed away as recently as April 2024, which was basically around 2 to 3 months ago. Now, originally you might think, okay, like her partner passed away and now she's moved on and she's with someone else. What's wrong with that? That's just someone trying to move on with their life. Well, the Reddit detectives did even more digging and they found out what they believed, allegedly, they were basically in like a feeder relationship. And I do have to say the word allegedly. I know that it's such a cowardly word to use. I do despise using that word because it's almost like you can throw the most baseless accusations imaginable out there, career ruining like accusations, and then just say allegedly. Oh yeah, that guy, if that guy wasn't born, World War II wouldn't have happened. Allegedly. And the reason why I'm saying that word so much and hitting it home is because Emily basically hasn't commented on this at all. And even if there is concrete proof around on the internet or like screenshots or something to back this up, we still don't have her story. Now, if you don't know what a feeder couple is, congratulations, you touch grass. I don't know what you're doing on this channel, but basically it's someone that gets off on the gratification of like feeding someone, making them fatter, and that is the actual sexual gratification. So that's why you'll see in a lot of these relationships, you'll see someone that's basically, built like a Minecraft with a skeleton, just like skin and bones, and then their partner is an absolute blob. And I'm not even talking about like, one partner's like a bit on the chubby side or something. I'm talking like a colossal, enormous weight difference. And also keep in mind, Emily's partner / wife, when she passed away, she was well over 900 pounds and completely bedbound. And also on top of that as well, apparently both of them, kind of getting gratification from this, they also posted on a feeding website. And all of this, by the way, it was posted online. I'm just going to read it to give context. B is a USS BBW. I mean that opening sentence alone, like BBW, I think it means like big beautiful woman, and then SS BBW is like supersized big beautiful woman, and U, I guess ultra supersized. So that is just like literal pyro commission size. Like you should not be that big in real life. B loves movies, game nights, and her friends and family. She used to be an avid BBW bash attendee and has been in this community a long time. She has a lifelong record of being the biggest woman in the room in every room she enters. You know what, dude? Me reading this, people are going to crack so many jokes at my expense. I can just see the comment section now. I can just see it. And at her last weight, early 2023, she was 1,040 pounds. As someone who doesn't really have a label, queer or pansexual are probably closest, having become nearly immobile, she decided to check into a rehabilitation and care spa in Arizona, and after some setbacks, has been completely bedbound since May 2022. In order to get out of rehab and get to actually live her life with Willow the way that they plan, she's working to regain mobility and lose some of her weight. Even after losing hundreds of pounds, she would still qualify as USS and ultimately this is what needs to happen to ensure there is a future to enjoy. So while this is not a common goal here, please be accepting. You don't have to encourage, but please don't be unkind. Thank you in advance. So you can see, like, this is one thing I always find interesting, like how much like sex kind of hijacks your entire brain, because even though like the way they've described it on a website for people to read, she's slowly killing herself by being at this size, and they're like, she'll lose a bit of weight so she can move, but not too much weight, because they still want to keep that kind of sexual aspect. Now Willow is assumed to be Emily/Tommy, the one that's dating Amberlynn at the minute, and B is meant to be Colleen's alias, the one that passed away. And again, like I've said multiple times throughout this video, you can be whatever you're into as long as it's legal and as long as you're not really hurting anyone. Brave statements only on this channel. But something like this, I genuinely feel bad for people like this, because it's like, to get gratification, you're basically putting your partner in danger. I mean, this woman basically passed away, and you know, you can say it's whatever under the sun that she had, but 100% guaranteed it would be because she was over 1,000 pounds. That would have definitely contributed to why she died so early. There's also text logs as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. My sexy, gorgeous girlfriend, Willow Grey, spent some of her last visit trapped under part of my super heavy stomach where she belongs. Not to mention, it is her favorite place in the world to be. Baby, you are now and will forever be my perfect fit. I love you so much. Till next time. I do want to say for the record, I do find it amazing how human brains work and how bizarre sex is, because like, you know, the stuff that I commission and then I just look at this and I'm just completely and utterly repulsed by it. I wish I understood human brains, man. I really do. And then you've got a picture as well of Emily just like lying on her massive stomach, basically just like proud of the work that she's done. So what this woman Emily doing is really, really bad, because again, like, she's into watching other people gain weight but not herself, and to get her own gratification, she's basically endangering other people. And I get it as well, you know, like her partner might have been into it as well. I mean, she probably was to an extent if you're going to put on that amount of weight, but like, you know, cutting your life short just for like a kink, it's just sad. And then obviously with Colleen, she was just that enormous that she basically died. And there was also a live stream of the funeral service, which is usually what they do pretty frequently for like families that can't make it. I mean, I remember even in the UK when there was a lot of funerals, like there was a lot of live streams, because, you know, I swear like peak COVID, I don't think you could have more than like 6 people to attend a funeral. So you just had like, you know, 70 people watching, like it was Twitch chat or something. Now, the last thing I want to do here is be like the body language analyst, you know, be like, oh, she looked to the left there, that means she's lying. Oh, she looked to the right, that means she's thinking and processing information. But like when she's speaking here, she's like just smiling. And you could argue that she's like reminiscing about better times, but she doesn't even look that sad. Another concern that a lot of people brought up as well is the fact that so soon after her partner died, mostly because of her weight, I can assume, she's already back into the dating scene again, dating another bigger girl. And I know that that's like a pretty common thing, you know, like it can be like rebounds and stuff like that, like if you break up with an ex. But like after someone passes away, you think you would need like a fair amount of time to grieve and not just jump straight back into the dating scene doing it all over again. Emily even being mentioned in Colleen's obituary. Colleen is survived by her mother Brenda, brother Lawrence, sister-in-law Camilla, nephews Lawrence, Steele, and soon-to-be Sterling Colin, niece Teddy, along with her partner Emily, and so many family members and friends. She'd love to be Auntie Coco to so many. Now, obviously, after this situation and what the Reddit detectives dug up, a lot of people swarmed to Amberlynn and, you know, warned her. It's like, you can't be with this person. Like her past partner died because she put on so much weight to fulfill like a kink. The same thing might happen to you because, you know, you are a bigger girl. Now, surprisingly, Amber did actually post 2 YouTube videos very recently. One of them was actually announcing the breakup and addressing the rumors. Now, this is really sudden, like out of left field. Like, not even the Reddit people got to her fast enough, I think, because obviously the vlog and the meetup videos that she had were basically only like a week apart. Now, both of these videos are very emotionally charged, and Amber is basically denying everything that's been said about Tommy. She says some quite confusing things, like, for example, they don't have the complete picture, and also that they don't know what they're talking about. You know, obviously talking about the people that are criticizing Tommy. Emily basically saying that, you know, she's just into this whole feeder stuff and making women really fat. She uploaded a video called It's Over. It's so over. It's actually so over. I thought this would be a video where she kind of debases all the points that, for example, I've brought up, which is, you know, very common from people in her community, her Instagram, her Reddit, that have all brought up as well. But she doesn't. She just speaks like a bunch of, like, you know, very vague, almost like talking like a politician. Now, people at the minute are under the assumption that the breakup was basically just for, you know, damage control, because apparently she has done the same thing in the past with a different partner. Amber had a past partner and basically said that they broke up to get people off her back, but still dated her like in person. So looking through the video, you can see that Amber's basically saying that they broke up because of you. It's your fault, the viewer, for complaining and trying to dig up the past and stuff. You've apparently ruined Amber's mental health, Emily's mental health. And I'll be honest, I imagine her mental health isn't really the best. Like she lost her partner a couple of months ago. And even making this video, it feels a little bit to talk about. But obviously, if you have someone that was well over £1,000, they were posting it on kink websites that they were proud of this weight gain, which is like, I don't know how you can live past like a year being that fat. It just doesn't make sense. But then also on top of that, after your partner passes away, which is really sad, and then going on to basically date another larger girl, I'm not saying the cycle could have repeated itself. She might have learned her lesson, but her lesson being at the cost of like someone passing away in the first place. It's just a really, really confusing subject, the entire thing. And I'm really surprised that Amber is actually projecting the reason why they broke up onto the audience. It shouldn't really be the audience's problem. If you really love someone, you'd stay with them despite what your fan base thinks.
What's happening is not okay. Like, it's not. And this is the very fucking reason why I don't want to show people in my videos. It has nothing to do with me and everything to do with so many of you.
She goes on here saying that this is why she doesn't want to show partners in videos. I'm a little bit on the fence with this because I do feel like if you have a partner, they can be private. You don't really have to show them on videos or anything like that. Maybe she should take the steps of having partners not be shown publicly. But also, you know, it is also a bit of vigilanteism, right? Because this woman has been picked out. People have like gone through her past, gone through her files, seen all this stuff with an ex-partner and stuff. And you never really know until it happens, because a lot of people have probably convinced themselves in Amber's community that they've saved her life. Some people genuinely probably have a complex from that, thinking, oh, this woman was going to feed her until she was £1,000 and then she would have died. Oh my God. But then on the other hand, other things might not have happened at all. It's one of those confusing situations where I really wish I could just sit here and say like, okay, we did a good thing or we did a bad thing, but there's no way. There's so many angles, because obviously like Amber, she's had a lot of her private life opened up here as well, but also the fact that I personally believe from what I've seen about this Emily girl, she was quite dangerous to be around someone like Amber. I mean, you can have like two adults that consent into all that kind of stuff, and again, like you are shortening years off your life, like trying to fulfill a kink. It's crazy. So she says that you don't know the story and you never will, and then she takes out a lot of aggression on people that were digging up into her past, which I can understand. I can understand that, but like the only way I can see for Amber to justify this is to basically come forward and say, okay, Emily had her partner, this stuff happened, she died, she's with me now, and she's told me in private that she does not want to do any of that kind of like sexual gratification stuff, because she knows that like it is like it's lethal. Her previous partner was lost because of it, and she does not want that to happen again. It's incredibly unfair. She might have insane amounts of guilt over that we'll never know about, that she hasn't publicly said, so a lot of people think that she doesn't. It's, you never know how these people work off camera, so there's always like such little information to work with. Now towards the end of the video, she kind of does a bit of a pity party, like people watch me to laugh at me, to hate me.
People watch me to just laugh at me and to hate me. I'm realizing like people just want to ruin my life, and it worked.
She definitely does have a dedicated hate following. Like it is on par with like World of T-shirts and stuff. Like I won't doubt that for a second. But also you kind of posting a public video, like kind of wallowing, being like, oh, my life is so hard. My life is so hard. Oh, it's so difficult. It doesn't garner sympathy. Like even me as an outsider, I really didn't even know who this woman was until like doing research for this video. And I unfortunately don't have much sympathy for her. And I think as well, it is kind of telling, because if you've noticed, I'm trying to be devil's advocate a little bit here, but also at the same time, it's very like, you notice that she's not mentioning the feeder website or any of the fetish content stuff at all, and I think that is like the primary thing that you should be addressing and trying to quell any concern around that. Now there is actually a mega thread on the Amberverse which is basically discussing everything that's happened because she hasn't posted for a couple of days, and one of the top comments here, she's doing this whole song and dance because she's absolutely seething at the fact she no longer has control over this situation. So Amber is doing what Amber does best: deflecting, gaslighting, and blaming. She deflects from Tommy by trying to prove Valentine was real and name drops her, thinking it will take the spotlight away from Feedergate. Feedergate. Then she gaslights by trying to say that she was the victim in this situation, that the wife called her and said she cried the entire time. She also says that she is growing, we the audience just don't grow with her. She says that it's our fault if she quits YouTube, and then blames us for the fact that her personal life is trash because we ruin her with rumors and lies, and it's our fault that people don't want to be seen with her. The funniest part of this is that she really expects us to think that she will quit YouTube. She says it will be a drastic change in her life. Since when has Amber made any drastic changes in her life voluntarily? voluntarily. Gall couldn't even drastically change her life when she had cancer. She cannot do anything that causes her even the most remote discomfort. She hasn't had a real job in damn near a decade. She isn't going anywhere. She was the most self-aware she's ever been when she said she feels trapped in the house she's viewed by her audience because of how she acted in her 20s. She's not wrong. She'll never be viewed as anything other than a lying, manipulative, narcissistic, and lazy person who wants nothing more than to eat whatever she wants, whenever she wants. But she fails to realize that that was her own doing. Amber, you are the sole person responsible for what is put on your channel and other social media. No one has ever forced you to post videos of you lying on your channel, doing mukbangs, crying about your weight, and abusing your partners. I could go on, but today's video really got me with how intolerable she was. Anytime I think she can't sink any lower, she always manages to find a way to surprise me. I feel that comment does a very good job summarizing it. Obviously, that message was pretty brutal, but it does seem that Amber has had a long pattern of behavior. I'll be honest, I'm not too versed on the entirety of the law. I don't know how far this goes back. It seems to be going back a fair few years. I've only been made aware of the recent partner situation and how she basically got with someone that was a feeder and their partner recently died. I try to do a little fence sit moment and be neutral or be devil's advocate, but she died because she was fat. I'm sorry, she was over 1,000 pounds. There is no way that unhealthy weight did not at least in some way contribute to her death. But yeah, it's a really bizarre situation, but it seems that Amber just hasn't taken any accountability really. I mean, there's actually a new video that's been posted now saying this has all gone too far. This was posted actually around 20 hours ago at the time of recording, so this is really recent. Now in this video as well, she does seem to be a lot more composed. You know, she's not breaking down into tears. She's definitely still emotionally charged, but she's actually getting her words out this time.
I feel like in the situations that have been happening recently, there is a lot of slander. There is a lot of defamation.
Now, she does mention a lot of Saul Goodman buzzwords here. As you can see, I'm sinking into the chair slowly as I care less and less about this story. But she's talking a lot of buzzwords, slander, defamation. Everything I've said in the video has been factually correct. She had a partner. She broke up with her partner. This partner dated another girl or was married to her, and she died because she was fat. And then there was also leaks posted online of their official, website promoting and flaunting how fat she was. And then people had due concern thinking that the same thing was going to happen to Amber. And I do think as well, it's a very toxic situation because this community that Amber has, they do definitely hate her. It is a Joshua Block thing where they just think she's like a lol cow. I feel like some people would have genuinely tried to warn Amber, but then other people at the same time just don't want her to be happy. Because, imagine if Amber got with this girl, Emily, and she was still doing the same thing, and then Amber got even more fat, and then she died, right? She died the same way that the ex-partner died. Then all these people would have no one to ridicule and make fun of or to critique. So it's a very bizarre situation. I do hope that there were some people in the community that genuinely wanted to help Amber though and be okay, because I mean, me as an outsider, I do think that is also cause for concern. So I do agree with that.
I really don't want to stand here and cry and be whiny. I don't want to do any of that because I do take partial credit into all of this. Years ago, I became a fucking troll. I almost asked for the negativity, especially 2019, 2018, 2017. I almost asked for it. Any attention was good attention for me. Even if it was bad, even if it made me feel like shit. But as someone who's gonna be 34 years old, I regret that.
Now, this bit is really interesting because this is an aspect of Amber I didn't know because, like I said, I'm not versed on the Amberverse lore. I've only been looking into her the past couple of months or so. But she's admitted there that she used to be a fail troll. She used to do a lot of rage baiting, to gain traction. And unfortunately, okay, this is actually kind of coming full circle now because when I was recording this video, I kind of thought to myself, Amber is a micro e-celeb and she has a lot of haters. Is that really are we kind of being too harsh on her? Is that deserved? But she's just said herself there, she used to be a fail troll. I assume she did a lot of rage bait, engagement stuff. And when you do that content, unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword because you blow up incredibly quickly because people clip you and share you all over the place. But then you just get an army of trolls and haters because you are unfortunately making the perfect breeding ground for that kind of fan base. So it's hard to gain any kind of sympathy. I mean, she does say I'm 35, which is Jesus Christ, that's retired basically YouTube age. Jesus. But she's 35, she wants to kind of move away from that now, but obviously the seeds that she's sown years and years ago just aren't going anywhere.
These are real lives being messed with. I can't sit back and let it happen and watch it happen. I can't support it, I can't condone it, never would. And I know a lot of you don't either. I'm getting so many messages on Instagram every single day of people that are literal even haters that are this isn't right. Like, what you're going through is not okay.
Now, I did go towards the end of the video, and she basically does call out like reaction channels, like commentary channels, the haters, basically saying they don't care about her, they don't care about her well-being, they just want to get clicks and they just want to get money.
I have known from the beginning, reaction channels don't care about me. All they care about, how many views they can get, how much money they can make. And I don't know what to do from here on out. I struggle with BPD, so like everything that I'm feeling is normal, and I know that in my rational side.
Now, like I said, I'm not well versed. You know, like I'm probably going to fall into this category of like, you know, react channel or like commentary or just like a hater. But I actually didn't even know about this woman's existence apart from the, oh, I guess I ordered salad meme, which just went viral everywhere. And also the fact that people were constantly showing her ex-partner with someone that passed away. But it is a bizarre situation. I mean, I do have some sympathy for her. You know, she said she suffers from like mental health issues like BPD, and you know, her subreddit is obviously just like constantly hitting her over and over and over. But apparently as well, like this seems to be a pattern that she has where she will basically, you know, get caught out for something, cry, blame all the haters, and then this is a cycle that just repeats over and over and over. And I do feel sorry for her. She's not mentally well, but at the same time, you do have to take accountability for your actions.